Good day. As you can see, the fact that I had to don my toque, the temperature has dropped significantly since the last few days. I came out to the country to have a nice peaceful walk. After my last video, the day before yesterday, if you watched, you could see that Tommy was just a grumpy old man that day. And then yesterday, I didn't have time during the day to walk. And then in the evening, we had what they call, I think, an Alberta clipper, where the weather changes and you get a 60 to 90 kilometer wind blow through, and it blew snow around for a few hours, and I thought it best not to be out in that. I know, what a wimp, eh? How un-Canadian of me. But no sense dying. Today it is -9. Winds are calm right now. And guess what? It's cloudy. Cloudy again. The sun did poke its way through, but the clouds consumed it again. Really get a lot of snow. I think it was just a whole bunch of blowing around, but it sure looked like it was a full-on blizzard last night. Roads got pretty dicey because I'm kind of out of breath already. I walked up a hill there because Mother Nature said, let's throw a little rain down before we blow the snow in. So my driveway looks like a skating rink. And that was another reason I came out to the country too, was out here I can don my boots and grab my walking stick and trudge through the snow here without worrying about all the ice on the sidewalks in the city. Looks like at some point they had graded the road along here, which kind of smoothed it out a bit. It's been a week or two since I've been out here. I thought the grading would have made it a little bit smoother along here, but I think with all the melting we had, it made things kind of chunky. There's some good spots like this, but other spots are real trippy for a guy like me. And not trippy in the far out hippie sense. I mean like stumble and fall on your face trippy. And I think I figured out why my Mimo was vibrating on me all the time. There's a clip that holds it on to the gimbal and wraps around your phone, and you got to make sure your phone is perfectly flat against it, or it causes the Mimo to go crazy, because it's been working just fine so far today. I did see one guy out here walking his dog. He must live around here because there was no other car parked at the top of the hill. Look how much of the straw is sticking out of the snow. You would think this time of year it should have been completely buried. Where's all the moisture going, eh? There it is, the Tom Wheatley signature. The sun shining through the clouds and through the trees. You didn't think you'd get away with me not doing this at least once. My stupid left hand flared up again, and swollen and sore. I've been doing a lot of equipment installations and cabling, and it seems to be kind of my repetitive strain type injury that I get. And I'll have to get the boss lady to do that acupuncture thing on my hand again, if she's up to it. She says her back is, or her ribs feel a little bit better, but that one apparently is a long healing process when you bruise or crack or whatever ribs. I see a deer walk through here, maybe two, by their little hooved footprints. Maybe we'll see them today. Probably not. Some of the snow is pretty deep. It kind of got drifted over here last night. That was a house-shaking wind, though. I love these swirls in the snow from when it was drifting. Just like sand dunes, out in the desert. Gives it that wavy look. Quite a bit of deadfall out here today after last night's winds. 1, 2, 3 trees. I would clean that up, but I don't have the back strength to drag a chainsaw around with me. There's a good hunk of firewood. I guess all of it's firewood. I guess again that's what they call widowmakers. All it would take is you'd be walking along here, not paying attention, and the wind to pick up and drop one of these trees down. This one's a pretty big one too. What's the best way over here? There we go. Yeah, it's a lot of wood. Someone broke trail out here for me, but I'm still pretty wobbly walking through here. Drifted in pretty good coming off that field. The wind started out coming from the northwest, and then it seemed to turn around and come from the northeast. By the look of the drifts on my driveway and the side of my house. A lot of chit chat on the old Tiki Talk about it shutting down in the States. Do you actually think that's going to happen? You've got Biden, who's trying to delay it for 200 and some odd days. You got Trump, who started the whole process of banning TikTok and is now saying he's going to revoke the ban. I know there's a lot of crying videos on TikTok of people who make a substantial income on TikTok. In Canada, I don't think there's any revenue shared yet. I mean, if they do shut down TikTok in the States, there's 170 million people that potentially couldn't be online. But it sounds pretty wishy-washy where they can keep the servers up and people who have the software already can still continue to use it. This is all in the States, of course, but there won't be any updates to the application or any enhancements won't be shared with the Americans. Like, I don't know how much of a security risk any of these guys are. I have my suspicions that TikTok stole a lot of business from Meta and X. So Zuckerberg and Musk are all up in arms, and you know, all these billionaires have the ear of each other. And it sounds like a lot of Congress had money invested in the other platforms and not TikTok. So again, follow the money. Has nothing to do with true data security, which I'm sure there is a problem with. Even the Canadian government says, but they won't disclose, that there are not data breaches, but just data is being extracted by the Chinese government for their own purposes. Who knows? Let's see what Sunday brings when they're supposed to shut it down. No signs of horseback riders today. The sun is trying to scream its way out. I've been posting these videos on TikTok, but they're still not that interested, or people aren't that interested in long form videos on there, even though they allow it. 60 minutes I think you can post as a TikTok, but unless you're doing some kind of storytelling or like how-to video, nobody really cares about anything that's longer than, you know, a couple minutes. Not that my videos are the most engaging, but there seems to be so much just I don't know, with TikTok trying to upload videos, and if I've got music in the video that's embedded, the video's been muted because the music was too long for the video, or some such bullshit like that. It's like, what? So I've been either not having any background music on the videos in TikTok, or I've just been throwing their music in. They have some music clips that are, you know, upwards of 12 minutes. But it's kind of a funny platform where they're trying to restrict some kind of free speech or free engagement. And their AI bots are pretty quick to recognize certain things. I'm just going to follow the person that went this way and not go down the hill over there today. Some of the snow is pretty deep though. They broke the ground. Maybe I'll assist in keeping the path going. I'm working up a fine sweat trudging through the snow. When it's -8 and calm, you almost don't need to layer up as much as I have. And I'm wearing my insulate gloves and my hands are sweating. I wonder where that guy with the sled went that I passed on my last outing out here, just around New Year's. I vowed that I was going to come back that weekend and follow his tracks to see what he was up to, and I never did. I'm just nosy that way. The gratuitous River Valley Pan. An excuse to stop and have a breather. It's always kind of one of my favorite places out here. In the summertime I used to just, this was years ago, but when the weather was warmer, I used to just sit up here and contemplate life. Then after COVID I quit coming here, and that's when I got fat. Not that I'm thin now, but I'm less fat than I was 3 years ago. This should lead me back to the abandoned golf course. We'll see if that's the way these people went. Not interested in breaking new ground today, even though when it's one or two people that have broken a trail, there's still a lot of packing down to do. I feel less grumpy today. I don't know if it's the still and quietness of being out in the country, or just the fact that today is a day off and I'm not at work. I don't know, work these days. I shouldn't say these days, but it just seems like people meeting to are calling meetings to discuss when the next meeting should be and who should we have at the next meeting that's not at this meeting. And okay, well, let's have a separate internal meeting before we get external people into that meeting so that we can just discuss what we need to meet about. It's fucking insane. For a person who likes to be the doing and not just talking about what needs to be done, extremely frustrating. Again, I just don't think I fit the corporate mode or model anymore. And it's not just where I work. I think it's most corporations are divesting anything that could leave them liable. They're divesting to cheaper forms of labor, so that they can just point a finger at them and say, it wasn't us, it was our supplier. We've taken action with that supplier. So really, for what I like to do, I should be working for one of those suppliers. Okay, careful here and not fall into this trench. Just drifted pretty good in here. Oh, that was just about a knee-deep drift I walked through over there. Thinking back, I've worked at large organizations since 1983. First was the University of Alberta as a computer operator. And then I worked for Canadian Utilities, which evolved into Atco iTech, which was then sold to Wipro. That was my longest stint in those many years. And then now where I'm working, it equates to 42 years of working in large organizations. Don't get me wrong, the benefits have all been good. Pay has been quite competitive, I think, in the private sector. But I think the way, like I said already, the way business has evolved, I'm just not the top candidate for wanting to work in those types of environments anymore. In fact, when the wind first blew yesterday from the west or northwest, it kind of drifted up against the trees here. Made it kind of tough slogging through there. Puffing and puffing now. And then on the other path, to the west, the wind changed direction and kind of ended up drifting it over there. Adds to the calorie burn though, right? Keeps the heart rate up longer. Oh yeah, speaking of social media applications, I've tried uploading my videos directly to Instagram, and they always seem to mess up. So I've gone back to the old, instead of using Burrito, I've gone back to the old link in my bio, which will take me to YouTube, which is my mainstay really for posting videos. I like YouTube only because I'm just a weed little video poster. I'm not going to say influencer, that sounds pretty, I don't know, hoity-toity. There's an old man word, hoity-toity. Ostentatious? How about that? But I also don't have time to try and figure out their algorithms on what'll get watched and what they'll bring up from a search perspective. What I do know is posting these videos every day, or almost every day, does increase the profile of my channel in the sense that it's active and there's a lot of videos up there. They always said, doesn't matter what you post, just keep posting consistently. And that's what I've been doing. I went that way, down the hill. And I bet there's a big drift on the other side of this tree, so I'm going to try and go down this hill too without sliding down 20 feet. This is where I usually only see horses' hoof prints. Today it's a human and their dog. Yeah, my gimbal's been working just fine today. Wind's starting to pick up a bit. It feels like there might be a little change in the weather. I think I'm feeling some snowflakes against my face. What's left in here? There used to be a big shop here that people dicked around in. This thing's been here forever and contains pretty much nothing. Just remnants of what used to be a golf course. Yeah, I think it's supposed to go down to minus 23 tonight. Then by Tuesday it's back up to 0 again. Oh, Alberta, you're one strange weather mistress. This big divot here used to be where the clubhouse for the golf course was. I think my father-in-law said it was housing for people in AA. I'm not sure if that was after the golf course or what, but they had a lounge and everything here, so it seemed kind of weird that they would be housing people in AA and have a bar next door to it. But you can't control everything people are going to do, I guess. Maybe it was to test their stick-to-itiveness. You said it was quite a nice clubhouse too. It was a clubhouse and hotel, and that's why they had rooms for people in AA. Or was it an addiction center? He said, I can't remember, but it had to do with substance abuse of some sort. But of course it got left abandoned, and people used to do urban exploring in it. You can't find those videos anywhere anymore. And then of course some dickheads started a fire in it and burnt it down. But I guess that's safer than leaving it standing and people squat in it or something. Kind of a shame though. You would think with these walks I would remember to bring Kleenex with me. So I hope I don't have any snotsicles hanging out of my nose at any point in the video. If I do, I apologize. And if I'm snorting a lot, it's just to try and prevent that. Yeah, the weather did change. It's starting to snow now. I don't think it's supposed to be much snow, but it's quite peaceful out here again. I'm quite enjoying this walk. Not like the day before yesterday. Tommy was grumpy. Or Mundane Man was grumpy. My alter ego. Some of this is a little hard on the old knees. You kind of get into a rut and unexpectedly twist one way or the other. I only see footprints go in the opposite direction that I'm walking. Where did the guy go that I was following? His tracks anyways. Hope he's okay. I think there's another path back over there that you can take. Don't forget, hikers and joggers are always the ones that find the dead body. I can't get that out of my head. Some comedian said that a long time ago, and now it just lives rent-free in my brain. This is one of my favorite things. When it's gray, quiet, and just a bit of a snowfall coming down, warms the cockles of my tiny heart. Well, glad I wore my booties. They were definitely required here. Same with my walking stick. It's kept me upright so far. Lots of soft snow to fall in though. We're at the end of the golf course. I did do a video out here, and basically I was playing around with my drone that I don't use enough, and did a bit of a video about this golf course, which I think was called the Westridge Golf Course. The footprints of the guy I was following. He must have taken that alternate path. I'm glad he made it out alive. I think I actually saw him as I was walking in way over there. The sun has been consumed. Staying a little higher in the sky though. Spring is coming, folks. Stay positive. Even though I hate January and have tough staying positive in this month. Hell, not a lot of people come out here because that bird was pretty brave to build a nest that low down in a tree. Or maybe inexperienced. Stupid bird. My daughter works in a building where, in North Edmonton, where they always would get geese nesting. And one year they nested right above one of the side doors. They had a canopy built over it, and I think once a goose has laid eggs, you're not allowed to do anything about it. But those geese wouldn't let you do anything about it without beating you to death with their wings or pecking at you. Again, it's a shame about these trees, the way they just hack the tops off of them. There's nobody using power out here anyways. But the infrastructure's there, I guess, so they gotta maintain and protect it. And the way they hack the tops off, I don't think they were professional arborists. I don't know if they'll still grow. Might have been better just to chop them down outright. No obvious indicators where that guy with the sleigh full of building materials went. Something tells me he went down the hill way over there where I usually, that's it, point the camera and still have it staring at your face. Good job, mundane man. So somebody's kind of been upkeeping that area where the fire pit is and everything. Even an outhouse out there. I can safely say today I was glad to be out here. So I knew I was going to be doing a long walk and out in the country. So it made me feel good to be out here. I think half my videos say how it was hard to drag my ass out of the house. Today I was looking forward to it. Coming to the end of the walk. One more uphill to go. You all have seen this before. But it is one of my favorite places to come. Fairly isolated, quiet. Again, you know, there's my criteria. isolation and quietness. Not sure why I really started filming these. I think it was getting a little monotonous just walking. And I could have just put in some ear pods and started listening to podcasts, but instead I chose to put my ugly mug in the screen and just talk. Gives me a bit of an outlet, I guess. And I'm sure some of you have heard me rant about things that maybe aren't best in the public forum, but whatever. If I've offended anybody, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry that you were offended, I'm just sorry that you heard it. And the old suck it up princess comes into play. I don't think I talk about anything controversial. And if I do, whatevs. Well, there's the gate and my Jeep. Let's get loaded up and I'll tell you how we did today. It was kind of hard to bend over and get under that gate. I need to do more stretching, I think. But if I had to stretch based on what they say you should be stretching every day, I'd be spending half the day stretching. Well, Runkeeper said 5.21 kilometers. That's a little disappointing for the amount of effort I put out for this walk. But break and trail is certainly a energy consuming thing. So even though the distance wasn't there, I think the calorie burn was. So that was good enough. Until the next one. A little pecking bird for your afternoon pleasure. Their little brains must be on a spring. How can you bang your head against a tree like that and not injure yourself?